quite honestly, it's really sad that all of this has had to happen after the atrocities that were committed towards Luke Skywalker. The absolute total dismissal of the most popular character in the entire franchise of the history of Star Wars. The most popular character was destroyed under Lucasfilm and under your own horrible, horrible babysitting techniques, Kathleen Kennedy.
Hello and welcome to Movie Phone. If you know the name of the movie you'd like to see, press 1 now. You have selected Soilo, a Soy Wars Soyri. 2.
Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me here at the Fanatics of Film.
The Fanatics of Film.
My name is Ben, and we're just jumping on some interesting stuff here about Star Wars. I am a huge Star Wars fanatic, and I love Star Wars. Just not Disney Star Wars. I love the legends. I love the old canon. I got into the new canon when it first came out, when it was first jumping in and first, kind of experiencing it. I was loving it, and it's just turned into kind of a mess. So here we are. We're just jumping in some of the cool things that are happening in Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic movie being developed. Finds a screenwriter. The new report suggests that Leda Kalogridis will be writing the first script in the trilogy of movies based on the Old Republic era, said to take heavy inspiration from Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic games. So what does that mean for the movies that are being developed by Game of Thrones showrunners David Benioff and D.B. Weiss? Let's talk about it. So this is, once again, I'm not looking forward to anything that David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, and I'm not going to call them D&D because they don't deserve that. They don't deserve to be called D&D. Right in line with our beloved game Dungeons and Dragons. They don't deserve to even be in the same sentence as that. BuzzFeed News, you gotta be kidding me. These clowns, these absolute ridiculous clowns. Anyway, BuzzFeed News has apparently verified an interesting scoop from 3 different sources claiming that Kalogridis, whose work the screenplays for the film Shutter Island and Alita Battle Angel, and served as the showrunner on the first season of Netflix's Altered Carbon, is apparently working on the next Star Wars movie after the release of The Rise of Skywalker this December. So that's interesting. Okay, all right. I'm, that's okay. Interesting. This might. Kalogridis has also served as an executive producer on James Cameron's Avatar, establishing that she's no stranger to the realm of ambitious, expensive sci-fi. If this report is accurate, then Kalogridis will be the first female writer to spearhead a Star Wars movie in the Disney era, with Leigh Brackett's work on The Empire Strikes Back being the first and only example prior to that. There's also Carrie... Oh, God, who cares? Who cares? I don't. Do you? Sounds like an awesome writer. I don't care about what gender that person is. I get it. I think, things are... I think that's great for her. Good for her. As someone who may have felt that she maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and I have no idea what it's like. But honestly, it's like I'm being constantly preached to, and BuzzFeed News has no reason to preach to anyone because they are complete liars. BuzzFeed is nothing but hoax feed, and they just need to go away. Anyway, that's ridiculous, but cool. I mean, she sounds like an awesome writer, and I don't care about her gender. I don't think that would enhance her writing. I think that a person's writing should be determined by the quality of their writing. What do you think? What do you think? Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy stated at the last month's Star Wars celebration Chicago that the Old Republic era was something that Lucasfilm was very much interested in exploring, although she would not announce any specific project, of course, since the underwhelming box office total for Solo Star Wars Story. Lucasfilm have reevaluated their release schedule as far as films are concerned, seemingly opting to repurpose planned film content to the realm of Disney Plus shows. Currently, the plan is to avoid doing more than one movie per year, but there will be no Star Wars movies in 2020 or 2021, the latter of which will see the release of the fifth and final Indiana Jones movie instead, okay, cool, I guess. If Harry's gonna be there, I'll be there to hopefully it'll be okay. Let's see, seemingly opting to repurpose planned film content to the realm of Disney Plus shows. Currently, the plan is to avoid doing more than one movie per year. It's like, just like all about one movie, this movie, that per year. Just like, why don't you start talking about the stuff that's important to the fans, or important to fandom, or important to the stories, or important to what characters we might want to see. What about that? Why don't we just look into the importance of those things instead of that? It remains to be seen. Lucasfilm will announce plans for 2023, 2025, and 2027, but if those happen, they will likely be released well before any of the 4 Avatar sequels. Some are unsure if this means that Calogridis is working on a third potential trilogy compared to the 2 in the pipeline from Benioff and Weiss and Rian Johnson, or if she's co-writing the trilogy with Benioff and Weiss. I just hope that these guys just stay away from the writing process. Or if they maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong too. Maybe they will just maybe since they're they're home now, they're sitting in their in their comfort zone, and they don't have to worry about getting the Disney payday. It'll be okay. I don't know. I mean, quite honestly, it's really sad that all of this has had to happen after the atrocities that were committed towards Luke Skywalker. The absolute total dismissal of the most popular character in the entire franchise of the history of Star Wars. The most popular character was destroyed under Lucasfilm and under your own horrible babysitting techniques, Kathleen Kennedy. Had no idea what you're doing, and I'm sorry, but it's absolutely just horrific what you're doing here now. So some are unsure if this means that Calogridis is working on a third potential trilogy compared to the 2 in the pipeline from Benioff and Weiss and Rian Johnson, or if she's co-writing the trilogy with Benioff and Weiss. As we've told you previously, Benioff and Weiss are indeed working on a movie series set in that era. We will stand by that report. It's entirely possible that the movies that they are working on and the movie that the Calogridis is working on are separated by centuries in universe. Since the Old Republic era is one that spans over 4,000 years, and the future Star Wars movies are not likely to travel too far past the events of the Rise of Skywalker for quite some time. With Game of Thrones complete, the duo are now going all in on Star Wars after a short break, and BuzzFeed's report supports speculation that their film series is the first one to arrive. Even with the divisive final season, Lucasfilm and Disney fully intend to keep working with them, just as they continue to work with Johnson in spite of fan controversies over The Last Jedi, which did not stop the film from being a massive commercial success. We all know that. Everybody knows that because nobody knew what a show it would be. Nobody knew what it would be, so obviously that's an obvious thing. And it's interesting that they would mention that whole thing, that they would be fully willing to, to work with them. Of course they do. They're under contract. They're under contract, so they have to do those. They have to fulfill their obligations to Benioff and Weiss, to Dumb and Dumber. It's just this is just absolutely silly. This whole thing is absolutely silly. I don't care. It's like what would you guys say to me going over some of the Obi-Wan book and some of the Tarkin book and maybe some of the Darth Plagueis book? I would like to just start diving back into some of the legends and the good Star Wars. Anyway, what do you guys think? Do you think that this is a good thing? I do want Knights of the Old Republic to be produced. I think it would be a great option. I think it would be amazing to do if they were able to do it right, if they were able to do it well. I don't think. Well, I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic. It's just, it's like, I don't know, man. It's like just these people don't have any consequences. Like they just get their foot wedged into a doorway and they don't have any consequences. They don't have anybody to answer to. They don't have any rules. They're just, oh, you just, how dare you attack what we worked hard for? It's like, I don't know. It's like you just don't get it. You just don't get it. Anyway, thanks for watching. My name is Ben. This has been the Fanatics of Film. I hope you enjoyed this installment.